All right, you guys know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's Silver Dollar City. Recreation time, because why not? Why not? Why not? It's been a couple days since we streamed, or a few days, I guess. And we're just gonna go. All right, we're just gonna go into it, and I really kind of want to work a lot. I don't know why I have the urge to work a lot on Thunderation, because that's what we're gonna do. But what's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. We're gonna have a very productive day today. In the world of Planet Coaster, of course, and so why wouldn't we? You know, why not? So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. There we are. There, and that's me talking because I'm trying to get this ready to go. All right, and we're just going to post it on the Discord and let everyone know that we're live, you know, because that's what we do. And we're going to get to it after we get this announcement in. Live on YouTube. There we go. That's brilliant. And that's all good. What's up, Silas? How's it going, friend? Alright, so now we have the fun task of doing this tunnel that I'm ready to tackle. Because I'm totally ready to tackle this tunnel. So yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting a POV kind of put up so I can kind of see what the tunnel looks like a little bit. I know there's like lanterns and stuff in it too, so Thunderation. I know Sword Art City's got some legit POVs that they have. You can still stream, Fluffy. Don't let me stop you from streaming. Alright, let's find the tunnel. Where's the tunnel? Here's the tunnel. It's very hard to see in this tunnel. It's very dark. Okay. That's cool. Let's just clear away. I'm going to get rid of the Thunder Bump. I just did that for laughs. Alright, and we're going to have to adjust these support structures because obviously they're going through. So we're going to have to make them shorter to where they don't go through here, but they go into the ground up there. So that's something we're going to have to adjust. So, but this is probably going to be the toughest part of Thunderation is getting this tunnel, basically, because we don't want to push too hard and have it go through, but we want to make sure we have good enough clearance and all that fun stuff. You're not late, J-Trains. We literally just started. You're not late to anything. Bruh. Like, you're just fine. Okay, so we're gonna go up here. Now we have a small opening, which is what we want. Let's go in here. Push it on through until we're open. There it is. This is where we come out of the tunnel up into our turn right there. So obviously I'm gonna have to keep pushing this, but the ground is thin in a few spots, so we got to be careful about that. If I had to give one, I'm not gonna say that. I'll just let you two keep arguing. That's what we'll do. Oh, here, I forgot there's an in-game light. It's always always a useful tool. Is the in-game light that you can use. Just push L on your keyboard and you get the light. But yeah, we're gonna have to trim down these support structures, obviously. And we're gonna continue the scenery so it looks like it's a tunnel and not just ground coming out of nowhere. So that's gonna be a fun task too. So yeah, we're just gonna carve out this tunnel a little bit because obviously it's got to be wide enough to fit some stuff in here. Joe, you're free. Or you're free. What are you free of? Here we go. Oh my gosh, cats. Jeez. You're okay. I think they're dead without me. When we make a decision, the person can get the park. Well, the person's not neither of you are getting the parks, so. So there's no need to decide who gets it, because neither are getting it. So. Gotta crush your hopes and dreams there. Alright. Still gotta go higher up here. Because there's a lot I do want to fit in this tunnel. I want to get Thunderation done. That's kind of like what I want to do right now, is kind of get the Thunderation area done. Don't have to worry about it. Okay, there's okay if there's a little opening there, because we're going to continue the structure going that way, so that's not too bad. We're just going to go through here, keep going. But honestly, the tunnel's my favorite part of Thunderation. I think it is. I think it's just a hair better than the final drop. The final drop's pretty cool too. A little curved drop at the end. It's actually pretty legit. Alright, we probably want to get a train in here, flying through here, so we can kind of see what the clearance is looking like. I know it looks pretty tight right now. But sometimes things aren't what they seem when you look at it. Like, oh, yeah, that actually isn't as bad as you think. So sometimes, but the thing is, we got to keep in mind, we got to keep enough space to put in certain pieces of scenery in here too. Because again, we're gonna make the tunnel look like, you know, there's a like that. So, I think it's mainly concrete. Kind of looking at it, and it's got like a wood structure on the top and stuff, so, but we'll see. Just as long as we don't go above, as long as we don't crack open the terrain, we're okay. This is the tightest part right here, so let's go ahead and expand it a little bit. Just a little bit, expand it out. SDC doesn't have clearance issues, except for maybe on Powder Keg. They did have to make some adjustments on that, apparently. Cut out a spot on one of the support structures, which was kind of funny. Tunnel's starting to shape out a little bit, so that's good. Getting there. Starting to get a good amount of clearance. Still a little tight right here, so let's push this out a little more. Very good, very good. I think that section's good right there. We need to smooth out this section of the track. I know, the thunder bump. Gotta have the thunder bump, right? But we're gonna smooth it out. There we go. Get that jolt out of there. It don't belong. Okay, so let's go ahead. Do a little bit more. Tiny bit more here. Push these out. And then I might get a train in here to see how close we are. I think we're getting pretty close to where we want to be. For all here. All right, let's go ahead and select some of these support structures. We're going to have to shrink them up a little bit, so they're not coming through. rid of that one. Go. Just flat out delete that one. So yeah, this is the funnest part. All these support structures out of here, so they are not visible inside the tunnel. Now, hopefully that doesn't mess anything up above us. Thankfully, there's not as many as I thought there was going to be in here, which is definitely a... Whoops, I keep pushing the wrong button. I keep meaning to... I just want to move it up. That's all. Go. And we're almost clear of all these supports, which is good. Look at that. If we go above here, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're fine. Alright, and you can see all those are clear now, which is how we want it. Now I gotta figure out if we want to continue this wall this way, or how we're gonna wanna kind of go about this. Because let's take a look. I'm gonna look at the POV here and kind of get an idea of how I want to go about this. Okay, so it just looks like a big concrete. Most of it looks concrete. It's kind of hard to tell, but it just looks like a big concrete wall coming around. So we might keep true to that, except for we'll keep what we have right here, but then it's gonna go into concrete, like just the entryway. So we have another piece popping through there. So the way I'm gonna go about this. You know, I'm not ignoring you guys, I'm just trying to get stuff done. If I was to constantly be looking at chat, I would never get anything done. Well, that's usually what happens. I really want to get stuff done. So, if I don't get to your comments right away, it's okay. I want to get back into Fall Guys, but I have so much stuff I gotta get done in Plinko. You know what I'm saying? Fall Guys made you mad? Why? Why did Fall Guys make you mad? Fall Guys wouldn't make you mad. There's no way. It's Fall Guys. So basically how this is going to go is we're basically just going to continue these concrete walls going around here. And just pray that our clearance is all good. Because it totally is. Might stream tonight. Cool. Go for it. Can I grab all these? I'm gonna lower them down a little bit. Just to be prepared. I'm gonna start lowering these down too, so we're good to go. Only thing is, it might be a little close to the track. I'm trying to keep it far enough away, but might have to get a train in there to kind of judge it a little bit better. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna push play and wait for a train to roll in here. there's one right there. Let's get it out here. I think the supports are turning out pretty good. We got a lot of work to do on them, so, but... Comes the train. Yeah, there's no way anybody would be able to hit that. Like, even their arm fully extended, there's absolutely no way. So I think we're pretty solid right there. Still gonna try and keep it as far away as I can, if possible. While also keeping it underground. We're gonna be putting in a floor in here too, so once we have the opportunity. This is just a concrete wall. That's basically all it is. It's just a concrete wall coming around here. So. Oh, that's kind of close. Not really, honestly. It really isn't. It really is not close. Like, that is good. Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great. I'm doing great. I'm always doing great. When I'm playing Planet Coaster. That's the time I'm doing great. Okay, we're just gonna rock around the mountain here. Alright, now we're getting a little far away over here. We gotta crank back over a bit. Hey, what's up, Alex Vampire? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Where's the timestamps for Outlaw Runs music? I don't have any, because I don't know all the music. I really don't. Some of the music doesn't have names because it's original music for the ride, and there's no name to it. Okay, so obviously we're going to have to make some more adjustments to push the terrain back a little bit in these areas, but... The Weird Pumpkins playlist, I don't know, just because it's all just normal music, you know? Like, that makes no sense. I don't know. But we have Sweet Caroline, so that's a positive, right? Basically, I had to move to grandparents' house for months because we have a mold and ew. Taken care of. That's not good. Not good. Is it really true they're getting a new ride? Oh, no, that is totally a, that building behind Fireman's Landing, if that's what you're talking about, that's totally a new employee lounge. Totally. Like, totally just an employee lounge. Like, straight up an employee lounge, so no more questions. My favorite part is when everybody believes when I say that. It's gonna be the largest employer lounge in history. It's really, it's gonna be really something. I think it's gonna hold the Guinness World Record for largest employee lounge for a theme park, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, that's what it is. A new ride just for staff. issues with this wall. Getting connected here. Good thing is clearance is perfectly fine right now. Which is wonderful. Alright, once we get this side, things are going to start shaping up after this. So we'll look at a floor, a roof, all that fun stuff. All the fun stuff. And you can see we got plenty of clearance right here, so that's good. That's the important part, right? Just keeping clearance good. All good, you know. Ah. Driving across Oklahoma is so boring. I'd imagine it is, yeah. And we have Oklahoma fall break coming up. I'm not looking forward to it. I should just call in every single one of those days. Just saying. Nobody in their right mind enjoy that week as an employee. Or as a guest, because it's just going to be super busy for no reason. All because Oklahoma people, I guess, have nowhere else to go besides Silver Dollar City. They don't even go to their own theme park. That's how bad their theme park is. Your city, it's awful. Yeah, and since Frontier City is so awful, all the people from Oklahoma just decided to come to Silver Dollar City instead. And let me tell ya, having days where it's just people from Oklahoma can be a nightmare. Sorry if you're from Oklahoma, but my gosh. Sometimes I don't even think they know what park they're in. I don't really have Oklahoma days, it's just the week we're open, there's a week we're open 6 days this month, and it's because of Oklahoma fall break. Because so many people from Oklahoma visit that week. So it's just awful. It's just the worst. I would totally say it's just a group of the nicest people ever, but, you know. Kind of the opposite. Can't tell, is that just like round? No, it's in October. It's like this week. Or like the next week or so. Why is it odd? No, look, I've never had a fall break. When I was in school, there was no such thing as fall break. So, it doesn't make sense to me. Oklahoma's weird. So your guess is just as good as mine. I got Thanksgiving off as far as I know, and like as for everything else, I have no clue. I have no idea. But like literally that week, everyone in the park is from Oklahoma. Like everybody. So bad that they open us up on a random Monday in the month, which is like makes me go like, what? Why are we open on a Monday? Freaking Monday in October. I don't know if the like we're open Monday, closed Tuesday, and then open Wednesday through Sunday. Like, why? Why is that Monday there? Why does that makes no sense? Who came up with this idea? It's really hard to tell what's on the ground here, and I think it's just like dirt and such. That's what it looks like, is dirt. Good thing is we actually have a tunnel forming here though. So that's something. Alright, we're gonna push this up just a little more. Because we gotta get a roof up here. On top. For the tunnel. There's actually gonna be a roof. Some sorts. So we gotta make sure we get a roof. Have enough space for a roof. Where it still looks nice though. And then we have like these concrete walls. It just traverses through. But it takes a little bit, it's going to take a little bit of time to get this, we're just trying to get this tunnel as perfect as we can. And it's going to be always a challenge working a little bit with Planet Coaster terrain, so once we get it done, it'll be pretty easy. I need to raise that wall a little bit right there. Does it lead to the Springfield and now? Absolutely. That's exactly where it leads to. You guessed it. Okay, we do have a nice little tunnel coming in here. Coming into play. Yeah. Now, does it look like the roof is concrete too, or is it just the walls? It's concrete at the end for sure. I think it's mostly concrete. I think like most of this entire tunnel is just concrete. So that makes it a little easier for us. And then there's a few like small lanterns in here as well. It's pretty dark for the most part, so I don't know if we're gonna use the time machine to make it darker. We might not, I don't know. Alright, our little support structures sticking out here, we're gonna have to adjust. So they're not poking in. Alright, now it's just a matter of how do we want to do the roof on this thing. Terrain. Alright, I don't have that one, so... Alright, I'm thinking about using the ThemeMaker's Toolkit Concrete. That is freeform, so we can actually place it wherever. Thinking about using that. I think it will be the easiest to kind of traverse in here. And it will make everything a little bit easier. This guy right here. So, what we can have here is, we'll just put a couple of pieces coming across here, and what we can do is angle them just a little bit, place each one as we go. So like, oh yeah, I forgot it's gonna do that too easily. Now the goal is to try and get rid of all the terrain you can see right here. This view makes it a little bit easier, though. It doesn't have to look great, because it's going to go through the inside, so we can kind of mess around with it a little bit. We have a lot of room to work with, is what I'm saying here. Is your favorite ride at Silver Dollar City? I need... What? I feel like you were typing and you pressed send before you were done typing. Right there. Okay, this... Yes, it only has to look good from the guests. Correct. This will be tricky, because I want it to look smooth. You need to follow the tunnel. So, like, we want to put those cracks in and push it. I want to try and avoid having those lines there as much as possible. That's the that's the tricky part. See, this is the best view because I'm literally inside the terrain, which helps a lot. I can kind of get better perspective of where I'm at over the track and everything as well, so it helps. Because I think what I'm going to do is basically anywhere where you see those rough edges, we're gonna get rid of those, and you'll see how. Actually, will be not too hard to do, I don't think. This is probably gonna be this is probably the hardest part of the tunnel. Is this? But for real, it's gonna be the hardest part. See, we're still behind the terrain though, too, which is something we gotta watch out for. We don't want to be behind the terrain too much. Thankfully, the tunnel's not like super too long, so we're got that going for us. We're gonna have to start leveling back out here because it is gonna start coming back up. So watch out for that. I hope this turns out good, because this is going to be a lot of work. A lot of work. I would hate to have to restart something that I took significant amount of time on. You know, so. That edge hidden, that'd be great. Okay, so we just gotta get to there. That's all we gotta do. Let's get to there. And then it's a matter of getting the terrain where it needs to be as well. We have plenty of terrain to work with here, so that's not going to be an issue. Like, if we need to push the terrain up more, like, that's easy. Have I watched what? Stranger Things? I have not. I'm literally have no time with Silver Dollar City. There's no free time. Literally no free time at this point of the season. And honestly, I'm getting really tired of these stupid pumpkins in the city's hours. Like, why do we have to be open for like 12 to 14 hours every day? We don't. Open the park later in the day. We don't need to be opening at 9:30 in the morning and staying open till 9-10 p.m. Like, that's just stupid. I'm sorry, they need to fix the hours, because the hours are just dumb. And we have to do it for an entire freaking month. Like, and then they complain to me about our budgeting. Like, oh, we can't have everyone, no one can be over 40 hours. And I'm like, well, live with it, because it's happening. Everyone getting over 40, if not 50 to 60. I was like, there's only one way to fix that, and that's fix the hours. Stop making us work for 12 to 14 hours every single day. That's the only way you're gonna fix that problem. Why are we singing Jingle Bells? Christmas is way too far away for that. Ain't nobody singing Jingle Bells. Yeah, it legit makes no sense that we're open so late. Or, not late. I get that why we're open late. I mean, so long. And it's not even busy enough. The only time this festival is super busy is during Oklahoma Fall Break. Besides that, this festival, Outlaw runs a walk-on every day. Every day, we have no line at Outlaw. We had a little, it was a little bit busy this Saturday, but that's a Saturday. And even, this is the first Saturday that was actually kind of busy. I mean, Outlaw Run still didn't have much of a line, even with, like, we had 2 trains, but our line didn't really get much past 15 minutes, so that was, like, the longest wait we had, it was, like, 15 minutes. On Saturday, and then the rest of the week, 0. 0. Like, there's a couple of days here and there that it'll be busy, but like, even Saturdays it hasn't even been that busy. Like, the hours are too ridiculous, and they need to change them, because do it like freaking Christmas. Christmas makes sense, because the parks open up later in the day. You know, we open at like 12, 1 o'clock, so it's not that much, just a few hours. That way we're only working 8 to 10 hours a day, you know? That's reasonable, you know? That's what Pumpkin should be too. Like, why do we have to destroy our freaking bodies for this festival? Like, I have been sore every freaking day, and like, it's just been dumb. The reason why I'm so sore is because we freaking don't have a line, and we're running freaking empty trains all the time, and Outlaw Run's restraints are so freaking heavy, and they have to be lifted every single cycle, because RMC's stupid when it comes to that design. Don't know why RMC thought that was a good freaking idea. RMC, like, I love RMC coasters, but that's a stupid design. The way they designed that. About the dumbest thing. So when you have days where you only have like 1 or 2 people riding at a time, it is the most brutal thing you can do. This is why no one wants to work at Outlaw Run. That's why everyone dreads working there. Because if you've worked Outlaw Run on a super slow day, you're gonna be dead. After the end of the day, you're dead. Kylo, my gosh, cat. Be quiet. Do you like not lose your voice crying all day? Freaking love you to bits, but my gosh, cat. Calm down. You're back. Oh no, you won't feel it just in your arms. You'll feel it in your legs, your back, everything. Everything will be sore. That's my rant, sorry. Ranting about $4 City. Like, I've had new hires literally just quit because they didn't want to work at Outlaw Run. Like, get them signed off, day or two later, they just quit. This is why it's so hard to find staff for the ride. No one wants to work there. Now, if it's busy and steady, perfectly fine. Like, you know, all the guests are gonna, well, some guests will lift up the bars. Some will sit there and go, mine's not coming up, even though they're not trying to push it up. I'm stuck. No, you're not. Just push the bar up. Push it up. I don't get the choice of where I get to work. I can apply for it, but there's no, like, oh, I want to work there. But knowing my history with the company right now, they're probably not going to want me at a new ride. I'll try, but they're probably going to say no. Just like Time Traveler, they won't let me go back there. They got me out like they wanted to, and now they don't have to put me back over. Now they won't put me back over there. Because I had a point where I wanted to go back over there. And SD, or the, you know, management, one that's in charge, said, nope. We got you out of there, and we're not putting you back. They like to manipulate you to leave where you're at because they don't want you there anymore. And you're gone. And to this day, I wish I would have never left Time Traveler. I wish I would have actually stayed there because I enjoyed working that ride so much. But, you know, they forced me out, so I don't know what else I can do. They tricked me on coming back to Outlaw. It's just kind of sad. What is my history? Apparently I wasn't good enough for Time Traveler. Because they expected me to hit unrealistic numbers. And in their eyes, I didn't do anything to help get the numbers up or anything like that. And I didn't do enough as a lead or something like that. You know, I'm not gonna go all into detail, but, you know. So here's the things. They wanted 1,000+ hour, like 1,000+ guests an hour riding that ride. That wasn't physically possible. There was absolutely no way. It's impossible. It was impossible. But that's what they wanted. And it was stupid. Because so the pumps, there's like these pumps that check the restraints, you know, because you know the ride checks the restraints check themselves. You have to have a certain amount of pressure for it to clear. It has to have like 40 pounds of pressure or whatnot. And if you don't hit that pressure, it's not gonna it's gonna take forever. You know, it took upwards. If you let somebody out, so if you open the restraint, say you have a larger guest and you have to let them out, it takes upwards to a minute to recheck that bar before the bar actually can get rechecked. Like, it takes upwards to a minute to recheck it because it has to build all that pressure up. Because when you open the bar, it releases all the pressure. And anytime we had a guest get off, we had to wait on the lap bar, you know, that like, there's nothing we could do at that point. Like, we're just sitting there waiting for it to check, and it takes upwards to a minute. You know, that's like, what am I supposed to do? And it was so frustrating because they actually put cameras up in the station to try and figure out why we weren't hitting numbers. Even though I already told them, like, guys, it's because of those lap bars. You know, that's why. And they set up cameras to watch what we were doing to see why we weren't hitting 1,000 an hour. 1,000 guests an hour on that ride. And I'm like, I already told them. So, but, you know, it was a whole stupid thing. That's looking pretty good. I mean, there's a couple edges here, but I'm not too worried about them. It was just no bueno, and what sucked is I enjoyed working that ride. I absolutely loved it. You know, I was having the time of my life for that season. You know, it was something different from Outlaw and everything, and that's what I loved about it. And, you know, despite having all that drama, kind of, really, I loved the team I was on. We had such a fun team we just had the funnest team that year, and I'm actually really sad that it only lasted a year, because I would have loved to. I would do anything to have that team again. You know, it was like an all-star team. We were all really close friends already going into it, so it was like, I would say there's only probably 2 or 3 people on that team that still actually work at the park. Everyone else has quit at that point. I'm trying to think. Me. Who else is still there that still works on park that was on that team? Me. They quit. Another one's a supervisor. So that's 2. They're still a supervisor. I'm having trouble thinking of people that still work here. Oh, there we go. That's that same one attacking us again. I'm so done with these bots. They're so stupid. But I can only think of like 3 people that still work on park. One kind of works on park, but not really. But yeah, like 3 people. And we had over like 10 plus people on the team. And now it's only 3 left. And none of them work at Time Traveler anymore. So. But. It's just. I don't know anymore, man. I've just been so frustrated lately. Tired of faking that I'm okay at the park right now. Like, I'm very tempted to try and transfer, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. I want to make it work out, but And I don't know where I would work if I leave. Like, if I was to leave the park, I have no clue where I'd work. That's what's keeping me there, is I just don't know what I would do. Just management has just been ridiculous lately, and it's really gotten bad. It's just all management. That's what it is. It's been awful. So I was legit forced to come in on my day off. I had the day off, and then the day before that day off, they were like, "Hey, Joe, you're working that day." And I was like, "Why?" Because they want to run 2 trains. This was a day that was projected to be super slow. As in, we were only projected like 3,000, or I think like 6,000 or something. And they get the projection numbers based off of last year, or the last couple of years, and everything. And 6,000 is not busy. It's not really that busy. It's kind of moderate, but it's not busy. But it's small enough to only need to run 1 train at Outlaw Run. So, and here's what happened. So I work that day. I come in, I'm like, whatever. We only end up having like 3,600 for the whole day. So we only hit about half of projection, if that. You know, maybe just a tiny bit over half of projection. It is dead, and we're running 2 trains. Why on earth are we running 2 trains right now? I came in on my day off so we can run 2 trains. The manager's logic was, they told me, because I was throwing a fit when they told me I had to come in, and I was like, why? And he's like, because he wants 2 trains because the other rides are having issues with their second train. So like Wildfire couldn't run 2 trains, and Powder Keg couldn't run multiple trains. So I was like, okay, but that should be fine because it's not going to be busy anyways, so they don't need those 2 trains. But his logic was, oh, Outlaw Run's going to need 2 trains because these other coasters are running 1 train. And everyone's going to come over to Outlaw Run and ride. That, I'm like, no. And here's what I did. I legit dropped a train after an hour and a half running 2 trains. I said, this is bullcrap. I'm dropping a train. And the reason, well, we actually had to drop a train. You want to know why? Because our brake person, the person that starts the brakes, who comes in later, wasn't on call or didn't show up. They didn't show up to work. So I was stuck there anyways on my day off. So I had to stay pretty much the entire day. I still had to stay. Because I was like, I'm going to drop a train and I'm going home. That was my plan. You know, because I'm not supposed to be here today. That was what I was going to do. And, like, it was the dumbest thing ever. All the other supervisors couldn't make sense of it. My immediate supervisor said, I have no idea why he wants to. So he couldn't make sense of it. None of the other supervisors could make sense of it. And this is just one instant. It was the stupidest thing ever. And I feel like as a lead, I don't get enough say in, like, I don't get enough say in stuff. Like, my experience doesn't matter. It doesn't. Like, our experience working on rides, granted, just keep in mind, this manager has no experience working rides. He's just a manager. He's never worked on rides before. So he didn't come from working on rides. He just came from somewhere. I don't know. And none of the supervisors care for him. Almost all my friends that worked at the park have all quit because of him. He has caused so many people to quit. It's not even funny. That's the problem with it. And it's just all messed up. Again, I don't care if we needed 2 trains that day. Like, if it was a day where, yeah, we're gonna need 2 trains and we're projected a lot and we only have 1 right now, it's not me being lazy. I would come in if we need it. But the fact that I had to come in on a day it was pointless to have it, that's where it was ridiculous. And Outlaw Run, the GP don't care for it. Honestly, we don't get lines very often at Outlaw. We rarely get lines. That's why we never hardly run 2 trains anymore at Outlaw. We run 2 trains when we need to, but like, it makes no sense. And the problem with and this manager is also the reason why I can't move up. I've been stuck at my position for so many years because I'm not going to get past him. It has to go through him, which is the problem. And we don't see eye to eye very, very well. So, when I get into interviews and stuff, if I ever do interviews and stuff, I have to do interviews with him, and it's awkward at that point, and it just doesn't ever work out. How many copyright? A ton. A crap ton. Same with the time traveler one. But this one, a lot. Stupid autosave. But I don't want to get much into it because the problem is I absolutely love working at the park, and honestly, it's never, when you really think about jobs, people only quit because of management, usually. It's never because of the job itself, it's usually because of the management side of it. So, like, that's the thing. If you ever start working a job and when you see people quit, that's the reason why they quit. No other reason. It's always because of people above them. And it just sucks. That's why I'm just so torn up right now, because like I absolutely love the park. I always have. And I've always loved working the park. But ever since after the time traveler stuff, it's got me like, I don't know anymore. Don't know what I want to do anymore. And it's just kind of just depressing a little bit. Because here's the problem. Like, other managers or supervisors will agree on something, but this one manager, he has way too much power, by the way. Whatever he says goes. If he doesn't like what everyone else is agreeing on, he literally will just be like, no. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like, he doesn't listen to everybody else's experience. Other people, everyone else has had experience working rides and stuff. Like, all these other supervisors have worked on rides. They know what it's like. They have that experience. He doesn't, and when we tell them, like, hey, this is what we should be doing, he just shuts it down and says, no, we're gonna do it my way. And it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But, if you ever go on Derek's stream, don't let him know I'm like ranting or something about this. Do not, please, because it won't be good for me. Because they're gonna talk to me about it. If they see that I'm ranting on about this stuff. Just saying. Like, so please don't say anything. Because Derek's one of my favorite supervisors, too. I love Derek. Derek's, like, I am tempted to transfer to a ride that he's over right now, because Derek was the supervisor over Time Traveler when it opened. He was my supervisor when the ride opened. Like I said, I absolutely loved it. It was just management above him. You know, that was like... that was ridiculous. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm just being lazy, like, oh, I want to run one train all the time at Outlaw. That's not what it is. If I need 2 trains, I will put 2 trains on Outlaw Run. Like, if it is busy enough, if the people are there, I have no problem running 2 trains. It's just that we don't have to all that much, and I'm supposed to be saving budget too. That's part of my job, is to manage budget at the ride, and I can't do that if they don't allow me to. If that makes sense. I'm going to be like, hey, we can save budget by just running one train, because we don't really need the second train today. But what do I know? I've only worked at the ride for 9 years. That's all. Hey, what's up, Joe K? How's it going? Okay, my rant's over. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Alright, the tunnel should be looking pretty good now. Like, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. Like I said, we have those weird edges there, but if you're riding on this way, you're not going to notice them as much. And you're going to go flying by so quickly, I don't think it'll matter too much. So that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and hop on the ride, and yeah, that looks pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go to the other train, where I don't know where it's at. It's about to start. Okay. Hi, Mr. Rant. Yeah. Sorry, I was ranting about work. I know I shouldn't, because I know my supervisors and stuff watch my stuff sometimes. Got back this morning from Tennessee. Nice. Did you take a trip there or something? I'm guessing. I need to go back to Tennessee. I need to go back to Dollywood and everything. Alright, look at all those custom supports that we got. The cool thing about Thunderation is you just keep on picking up more and more speed as you go down the hillside. Oh yeah, that tunnel's looking pretty good. Went to a religious get-together, so went to Dollywood. Cool, got to ride Lightning Rod twice. That's cool. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, now your service is really bad. I hate it when the custom audio just cuts out. I don't know why that glitch still happens. That shouldn't be a glitch anymore. Had it closed at the end of the day. Ah. It happens. Oh no, he doesn't watch streams. He doesn't like fun. That's another part of it. Alright, I guess I'm continuing. He hates fun, by the way. You can't have fun. That's not part of your job. You can't. There's no fun. Zero fun, sir. It's just kind of like that, from Remember the Titans? I love football? You think football is still fun? Yes? No? Oh, now you're thinking. It's like one of those things. So he like gets you to say like, Outlaw Run, zero fun, sir. You think Outlaw Run is still fun? I had a friend that worked there, and he quit because of this manager. He quit because of him. He was the funniest. He had so much fun at the rides, and I absolutely loved it every time working with him. He also worked with me at Time Traveler, too. And he's actually one of my best friends out there, and still to this day, and we still hang out, but he keeps wanting me to quit the park. But, he just has fun, and he got in trouble with it so many times. He got tips from guests. Actually, guests gave him tips because of how funny he was sometimes. They would actually go up to him and like, hey dude, you're super funny. Gave him like $2. Like, he pushed the limits a few times where I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too far, but most of the time he was just funny. But there was one time, this particular same exact friend, I think it was when he was working at Time Traveler, he was stretching in the operator's booth. Just stretching. Okay, that's all he was doing. You know, it's a long day, he's just loosening up. His manager comes up and say, hey, don't ever do that again in front of guests. And he was all confused, like, what? And he's like, that stretching, it makes it look like you're tired. And guests don't like to see that. Okay? Now, I do agree, like, you can have fun to a certain extent. I'm not talking about, like, horseplay or anything like that. You still need to be doing your job safely, but you can still have fun with your job, if that makes sense. Now, like I said, I understand you don't want to go too far, like, with having fun. You want to have a good time while working, but you still want to stay safe at the same time. Like, you're still doing your job, but you're just having fun with guests, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, you can still have fun with the guests. Sometimes you can't even do that. Like, I got a guest complaint. I actually got a guest complaint on me the other day because I was talking to someone on the bridge. That was the complaint. Like, you know, the exit bridge. I was in the operator's booth, and I was talking to someone. A person actually went to guest services and complained that I was talking to someone on the bridge. That was the complaint. And my supervisor was just like, hey, you got this complaint? You were in the op booth talking to someone on the bridge. And I was like, that was it. He didn't say anything else. He was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, so it's like, I didn't get in trouble, of course, for it, because it's just the most ridiculous thing ever. So I actually had a point where I got so frustrated with that I was actually just stopped talking to people for a while. I was like, nope, not going to talk to you because someone got mad that I was talking to someone. No, I was just like, it wasn't like instructions or anything. Like, they were just standing. It was one of my friends, and I was actually just saying hi to him, basically, and we were just talking for a minute. Like, that's all it was. So, like, it wasn't like I was just talking to him for a minute, and that's all it was. Like, hey, how you doing? You know, if that makes sense. So, like, I can't do anything, apparently. And I'm just like, this guest wasted time out of their day, completely wasted time out of their day to go to guest services to do this. Like, to me, that's just a waste of their own time. So that's their problem. I can't believe they wasted their time like that to go to guest services. Like, imagine being that person. Going to guest services to complain about someone, about an operator talking to someone. Like, like, what the actual heck, man? Like, what the crap? This is what I'm talking about. Like, I've been getting annoyed more than I should from guests sometimes lately. Because it's the stuff like that discourages me from having fun at the ride and stuff. Because I'm just like, I can't do anything without someone getting mad for no reason. For no good reason. So, I'm just done talking to guests sometimes. As much as I like to have fun, it's just like, man, they're gonna find something. I had someone... I talked about it in the Discord too. I got a guest complaint, or got someone get really angry at me because I was just joking around, and they asked if the ride went upside down, and you know, I just jokingly said, "Oh, maybe," and they got so offended by that, and literally, their reaction was, "You know, that's not funny at all." They got super angry, and I mean super angry, to the point where they didn't allow their family to ride the ride because I treat people like that. That was their words. So, like, they're like, oh no, really, my son can't go upside down, he'll pass out. And I'm like, well, it's not too bad. I'm like, it's a double barrel roll and stuff like that. No, he will pass out. And I'm just like, you know, I'm just trying to calm them down. Like, it's not too bad. Like, you know, I like to try and convince people to ride, to let them know, like, it's not that bad of a ride. But they viewed it as an, I'm not letting you off, you are trapped in there, is how they took it for some reason. And, you know, and then I was like, okay, unlock, whatever. And I was like, I'll let you off. And, I'm sitting there trying to get the bar unlocked, and they're thinking I'm, like, trying to send the train out or something like that for some reason. They're like, no, let us off. And I was like, I'm letting you off, lady. Jeez. Like, like, I didn't say it that way, but I was like, I'm letting you off. Just calm down. And then she got off the ride, and her and her son, and then, like, they had, like, 4 other members of their family, and then another member was like, well, I want off too. If they're not right, I want off. And then there was 2 members left, and they looked like they were ready to ride, and she was just like, no, I want you guys off this ride. You're not riding this ride. My family is not going to ride this ride because of how you treat people down here. I just don't get it. Like, you can't joke with people anymore. You really can't. It's ridiculous. There's a safety sign at the front, and I don't understand because why people don't get this information before they get in line for the ride. They wait until last second. Like, do your research. If you can't go upside down, do your research on a ride before you get on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't waste the operator's times. Or don't waste anybody's time by getting on the ride and then asking at very last second, does this go upside down? And I get not everyone wants to go upside down, and, you know, some people just don't like vertical loops. Like, if it doesn't loop, some people are okay, like, you know, and that's usually what I tell them, like, does it go upside down? Like, it does, but it doesn't have any loops or anything, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's always good experiences, but there's also a lot of bad. I honestly feel like there's more bad experiences at this point than good, and it's just wearing me out at this point. Just because of how people are these days. Like, it's just, I can't believe how rude people are. Like, sometimes I feel like I get treated as a slave working the ride. Like, they look at me like, oh, you're a lowlife that works at a theme park, you need to do this for me. There's some of those moments, and I'm just like, my goodness. And I know it's my job at some extent for some stuff, but sometimes it's just like, bro. There's a couple instances where it's just like, dude, like, you kidding me? That's the thing, like, you get larger guests that can't ride, they can't get the seatbelt. They yell at you like you designed the ride. That, like, don't yell at the employee that's just working, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like more people are getting meaner and meaner all the time. I get it's frustrating that you can't ride. I get that, but don't take it out on someone that has no control over how big the seatbelts are or how all that works. I even tell people, like, when they yell at me saying, you need to make these seatbelts bigger, you need to make the ride bigger to accommodate larger guests. And I say the same thing every time. The park has no control. I have no control. Or I actually have told people, it's like, no, I don't. I don't have to do anything because I didn't design the ride. There's one that gave me such an attitude one time, I actually snapped like that and said, I don't have to do anything because I didn't design it. I was like, if you want to get mad at someone, go complain to Rocky Mountain Construction because they're the ones that actually designed the ride. Silver Dollar City has no say on how big those seatbelts are or how big the seats are. And I've even explained to him, I was like, if we made the seats bigger, if RMC made the seats bigger, we would have to raise our height requirement and less kids would be able to ride. Just so you know. Kids would be able to ride. How does that make you feel? If we made bigger belts. And seats and everything. Honestly, I wish they would just get rid of the belts. The belts are stupid. I freaking hate the freaking seatbelts on Outlaw Run. Like, I wish they would just get rid of them. They serve no purpose. They're supposed to be a measurement tool to see who can ride. They're not a secondary restraint, and they stress that as soon as they put them in there, like, this is not a secondary restraint, so don't make it out to be a secondary restraint. This is a gauge to see who can ride. It's a measurement tool to see who can ride. Like, that's all it is. And isn't that what the green light is for on the back of the freaking boxes? That tells us how far the bar has to be down before it's good to go. That's what that is. Why do we need a seatbelt to tell us any different? The seatbelts are just a waste of time. They slow us down, and we used to be able to hit 1,000 an hour at Outlaw Run the first year. The first season, we were able to do it. But ever since they added those seatbelts, we can't even hardly hit 700 in an hour, which is just sad. Sometimes we can't even hit 600. It's just a waste of time. Bad wasps. Oh, we have the wasp issues all the time at Outlaw, and they just started coming out. And, why don't you just go up there and spray? I get that one too, because here's the thing. They've tried it before. When we were first having the issues with wasps, they tried it before. Guess what? It didn't do anything. And then everyone always goes, there's a ton of wasp nests up there. There are no nests up there. They just hang out because they like the warmth of the little of the speakers at the top and the electrical boxes and all that stuff, or the phone box. They love the warmth of that metal up there. And stuff, so they just hang around up there. And they typically don't bother anyone. The only time they bother you is when you're sitting there swatting at them, which every single train, they end up swatting at them. Like, we can't just go up there and do spray. It doesn't do anything. They're just gonna come back. There's no nests, so they're just gonna come right back up there. And like I said, as long as you don't bother them, they don't bother you. They don't really bother the train that much. The only time that kind of sucks is when a wasp gets stuck behind you, between you and the seat. Sometimes they'll fly and they'll get stuck between you and the seat. We get a lot of people getting stung in the back. That's usually the only time people would get stung. I haven't had anyone get stung yet this year, which is good. There hasn't really been that many. There's been a little bit flying up there, but they've been quiet so far this season. They'll probably continue for another month or so before they're completely gone, but I don't have the light on. I just noticed that. I was like, I should have the light on. But yeah. Stupid wasps. Dumb wasps, man. And another thing that gets me riled up is just when, say, you're right up measuring a kid and they're just too short, just barely. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how close they are. You don't negotiate safety. You can't let them go because they have to be at that 48-inch mark. I don't know how many times I've had people chanting in line, yelling, let them ride, and then as soon as I don't let them ride, I start getting booed by the entire line. And I'm just like, to me, that's just utterly disgusting to me, that people would want me to jeopardize their safety. You know, that's just... I can't believe people do that. It is one of the more... It's just disturbing to me that people would want me to jeopardize their safety because they're so close to the line. I don't care how close they are. If they're not there, they're not there. Like... You really don't care about the safety of your kid, do you? That's nice. Glad to know. And I get it's frustrating. I get it. And I understand that. Like, you hope that your kid's tall enough, honestly, and, you know, if it was me, I'd just be like, oh, okay. You know? We'll get them next time. We'll let you grow a little bit, and we'll get you there next time. And some are like that. Some parents are actually like that. Like, they're totally cool with it. Some parents freak out sometimes, and they're like, hey, make sure he's tall enough. You know? Some of them actually freak out and just be like, I want to make sure he's tall enough before he rides this thing. And I'm like, okay. Even if there are some that are like, for sure, like, I could tell they're good. But sometimes they request me to measure him. I've had people legit, they'll go stuff something into their kids' shoes and come back and have me measure them again. I think there's one time I refused, and I was just like, no, I already measured him, he's not tall enough. And they're like, no, measure him again. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't get it. It's just a ride. Move on. Wait till they're tall enough and come back. I don't know anymore. I don't know. And I love it when stuff like that happens, like, and a guest gets like super angry with me for doing my job and keeping them safe, you know, and they ask for my name. I proudly give it to them. Proudly give it to them. I was like, go take it up. I'm gonna get praised for doing my job. So yeah, there's measurements. There's also a test seat out front. No one pays attention to it. The test seat has the seatbelt and it has the light and everything. I've had people get down there and like, well, I got the light. And I was like, okay, did you get the seatbelt out front? There's no seatbelt on that test seat. Yes, there is. And they're like, no, there's not. Yes, there is. I inspected it this morning. As an inspector, I have to inspect it. Or it gets inspected every morning to make sure it's still there. It's still there. And the sign literally sitting above the test seat says you have to have the seatbelt and the green light. But everyone always misses the seatbelt. Every single time. Every single time. So. The test seat are there for your convenience so you can avoid, you know, a lot of people get embarrassed, and I understand. I try to be as discreet as I can when it does happen. But a lot of people get embarrassed, and this is to avoid that situation from happening. That's what the test seat's for. And so you don't have to wait that wait time, you know, you can figure it out before you even get in line. That's the point of it, you know? That's legit the point of that test seat out there. So you can try it out first. It's your convenience. We do that for you. For you. Yeah, I think the Thunderation... I have to retexture the ground, though. It's not going to be, like, just grass, because that's not what it is. It's more of a dirt thing. Because I don't like embarrassing people. I try my best not to embarrass people. Some people embarrass themselves. Like they legit will. You know, so... And that's on them, if they do that. But I'm going to do everything in my power not to embarrass them. Isn't there a catwalk around the whole helix? That's a good question. I think there... I don't think on the helix. I actually have the POV up right now. There is at the start of the helix, so good point right there. About just a small portion of the helix there is, actually. It's at the beginning. So, like, from, like, right here to about right here. There is a catwalk there. So, yes, you are correct on that. It's not the entire helix, but it's just one part. That's why we have so much to do on this, on Thunderation, because we've got to get all this taken care of. I need to find a... Do I already have a piece that's already straightened out? We're going to take it. Do I have a bigger piece that's straightened out? No? Doesn't look like it. That's okay, we'll just adjust this one. Well, I guess I'll not be lazy. Here's what we gonna do. I'm gonna delete that. Why is that, like, slightly turned? That's weird. Delete that, and just boom. Put you across here. Alright. Because we're starting to straighten out here, so we just gotta get this located in the right spot. Boop, boop, boom. Alright, we're almost out of the tunnel. I want to get the tunnel done. That's my my goal today. It will make me feel accomplished. Alright. Okay, back to this guy. Okay, so we're straightening out here, so we gotta straighten our beams. Straighten the beams out a bit here. I typically don't do this many custom supporting on Thunderation, but I'm actually kind of like full force trying to get this area done, because obviously, like I said, we just want to complete stuff at this point, so, and get everything polished. That's our current goal right now, is to get everything done. So we're going through the park and just completing areas. That's the goal right now. Alright, we got this little hump coming up here, and we'll have all these supports in place. Here's the thing, we still got to do footers and such for this. So we still got some stuff to do. We're not in the clear just yet. And I think after I'm done with the park, I'll probably have updates for optimization. And when I say that, I'm gonna try and like get rid of unnecessary pieces and stuff like that. It's like underground. Do you see any construction on Big Bear Mountain? Have they gone very much vertical on that? I haven't been seeing any updates on it, so I was just wondering how far they are in the construction. Didn't know if they finally started on the supports and track yet. As far as I know, it's just a big dirt pile. I'm just like, man, they better get working on that if they want it to open by spring. Especially being the longest coaster in the park, you know, it's got the most tracks, so. They got track on site. I knew they had track on site, but I was wondering if they went vertical yet. They haven't gone vertical yet? They haven't, like, actually done any supports work yet, or nothing's in place yet? Not yet? Jeez, man. Hopefully they get started on that. At this point, when Time Traveler was under construction, at this point, they already had, like, all the track already done. So that's kind of surprising. Not trying to compare the construction of Time Traveler to Big Bear Mountain, but, you know, SDC gets a pretty big start on their stuff. So, what's up, Planko? How's it going? Going to Dollywood next summer. I usually go every year, but I haven't gone this year for some reason. I don't know, just... It's typically a fairly cheap trip for me because I get into the park free. I just gotta worry about driving and hotels and stuff. I get a discount on the Dreamore Resort, which is Dollywood's resort. I haven't actually stayed there yet, though. I really want to, though. Dirt moving around and walls going up. Gotcha. Yeah, gas and hotels. That's why I always try and find the best hotel deals I can. Sometimes I once found one at Dollywood. I think we got it for... It was only like $50 a night, and it actually wasn't that bad of a hotel. It wasn't like a garbage hotel or anything. It was actually a fairly solid hotel. I mean, it wasn't like super insanely awesome, but it was clean and everything, so that's all that matters. And decent, and it was like $50 a night, and I was like, ooh, that's actually not bad. I think it was our first time we went to Dollywood, actually. I haven't found one that cheap since, but... Big fire in Gatlinburg that burned a few buildings? That's not good. Alright, we almost got all this in place. Once we get in this in place here, we'll get the terrain texture correct underneath here. Oh yeah, splitting with other people, that's always a good thing. I usually always take a group of people and we just split everything. It makes it a lot easier for everyone, which is nice. You know, if you got like 2 or 3 of you, you know, you can split the cost, and always does help quite a bit. Alright, we're about to pop out of the tunnel here. Sweet. That. I have a feeling it's going to be a slight pain. Getting all this section done with supports and such. Man, and to think I still had to do like footers and stuff. But that's okay. I'm up for the challenge. I mean, honestly, how often do I do this much tedious work in one episode? Probably not very often. bum, ba-da-dum, bum. Alright, I think we're gonna go down here, and I might place one more structure here. Right here, so I can officially say we have started to get outside the tunnel for supports. I know I don't have to go, like, as in detail as I do sometimes here, but sometimes I just do it. There we go. As the queue for Time Traveler, I mean, I mostly already had it done, so, like, Time Traveler's queue, I need some adjustment, like, you know, how the functional queue's kind of in the way, but, it didn't function the greatest, but, I mean, it's basically, doesn't have much to do in here. I'm trying not to get copyrighted for the music that plays in here, because it will copyright me. But yeah, we're going to work a lot more on the polishing of Time Traveler after we're done with Thunderation, so... What's up, Tyler? How's it going? Okay, now, the last thing I kind of want to do with the tunnel here for Thunderation is just kind of the texture underneath. It's not going to be grassy. We're going to do kind of the rocky mud and stuff like that. I guess it's going to be kind of like this rocky texture coming in here. Do a different blend of stuff, but so we'll start with that. Put in a little dirt in here. Basically, get rid of the grass. You don't want the grass in here. There we go. Alright, there's that. Blazing Fury running fast. Alright. Nice. But yeah, Thunderation is looking pretty fire so far. I'd say we're about halfway done with the support structures. Right here, because we still have to go this turnaround all the way up the lift and then the final hill there. So we still got a solid amount to do, but if I keep at the pace I am right now, I think it will not be as bad as I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of rock work here, just to kind of close up these small gaps with the tunnel. Just a little bit here, kind of like, I know it's probably not really in the real thing. Don't want to go through too much, but just want to be careful here. But I just kind of want to close up those small holes and stuff. And then we'll add some foliage to kind of disguise it even more. If that makes sense. So, like, we'll do a little bit of that, and then, of course, we're gonna put some plants in to disguise it even more. We'll even get some small ones in here so we can be very precise. Maybe even get some trees and some trees in there. Can't do it above here because we don't want it going down into there, so be careful about that. And you hear the clickety-clack up the lift. Okay, I don't think there's really a whole lot of trees and foliage around right here. It's kind of hard to see, but I don't think there are. You know, I can just go into Google Maps and look above head to kind of see that, so... Go in here. We're gonna go to Silver Dollar City. satellite view and go over to Thunderation to kind of see. Okay, I guess there are a lot of trees in there. A lot more than I thought there were. Yes, there are trees in there. What's for dinner? That's a good question. I have a lot of options for dinner. I was thinking about making some burgers or something. Potentially. That's what I was thinking about doing. Okay, but we're gonna add some more trees and such. Because it's in the woods. So we want to make sure we make it feel like it is in the woods. That is very important. About one verse and uses why a bunch of parks just randomly opened up in the year 1970s. So the one thing is, it doesn't have to open in 1977. Your park could be already existing. If that makes sense. You can have a storyline where it's been open before then, and such. If you really wanted to. Like, I'm okay with that. But there's really no way around it. It's just like, unless you want to have people open different years, you know, but there's not really a way around it. I think we're just kind of thinking a little bit too hard into it. You know, that's just one thing that we're just gonna have to live with, I think. Obviously, a lot will be opening in 1977, but that's alright. See ya, thieves. Alright, there is a road that comes across right here. And it leads back to a, to over here, actually. There's actually a road that goes back behind there. It was the Park Wars, yeah. But there is kind of like a little gravel road that does come across here that is the evacuation route for Time Traveler. Because if you get evacuated off one of the launches, there is a way back into the building this way, but the road is too steep, or the hill's too steep, that they didn't want guests going up that way, so we just take them back here, and then a shuttle picks us up and drops them off up here, back in the park. It's kind of weird. Mind duration open. Alright, I want to do a ride through on it real quick. The other train just popped out of the station, so here we go. With Reshade. I don't know which one I have right now. Oh, this is the nighttime. We don't want nighttime. Let's go muggy. Yeah, let's do a muggy POV. There we go. Kind of muggy outside. Misty's preset. Oh yeah, I still had the light on. Oops. That's why I was like, something looks off. I've done my fair share of evacuations on Time Traveler. Quite fun. Because it's an Arrow mine train, that's why it has wooden support structures. Mine duration. Why are you calling it mine duration? Here we go. All right. Thunderation. All right, I want to see the tunnel one more time. It's main. I have a foggy day. That's my foggy preset that I made. Let's do a foggy preset here. We'll use Misty's foggy preset. Because it looks pretty cool, as always. Love how rough the just the tracks are. They're just like kind of weirdly shaped, like they actually are in real life. I know not all Aeromine trains have wooden supports, but a lot of them do. Gosh, the audio was so delayed there. Have a good day, Ghost or Gnome. See you later, man. Thanks for tuning in. Finally in Texas. Cool. Man, I can't wait till all this is custom supported. It's gonna look great. The dock looks wet. That's funny. All right. So Thunderation is coming together. Pretty excited about that. But like I said, been trying to work on this area is what we're trying to get done. And Thunderation is part of that area, so we need to finish it up. Because we went up to the up here to the square, pretty much got all this finished, and now we're going down Hill Street. Trying to do some polishing and finishing touches on all this. This is actually looking pretty good right now. Pretty solid. Pretty solid so far. Gazebo turned out pretty nice. All the seating in there. Got the taffy shop over there. Ozark Marketplace. Lost and found and rentals. Security checks. Guest relations. Hospitality house. Which is empty right now. Yeah, we're coming along. Just got to finish up this area. And Thunderation, of course. And then, of course, we're going to move on to Time Traveler and get all its custom supports eventually done. That's going to be a fun challenge as well. And I am really thinking about retracing Time Traveler's track one more time. With the Copperhead Strike track. That way I can get all the details I want on it. The perfect amount of detail. I've already retraced it twice, I think, at this point, but that's okay. I think we can do it one more time. It's Freebird. No copyright. No copyright. Then we have to do Expo too. Blech. That's one area I'm kind of dreading. I mean, we've done a little bit, but like I don't want to do more. If that makes any sense. And Fireman's Landing. All that. If we keep a good pace up and I work on it constantly, I think we'll be in a good shape. Making a good amount of progress each time. Like today, I feel pretty good that we got pretty much the tunnel done. Oh, there's a tree in there. I did notice that on the last ride. There's a tree that is in the way. I can't click on it for some reason. I think it's this one. Yep. Here, we'll just lift it up. All right. How long am I going to stream for? I was actually thinking about ending about right now and then coming back later with another stream. I want to do multiple streams today. I think we're going to work on the Windleverse Park for a little bit. And we might even do a third stream. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. I have a lot of stuff I want to do today. A lot of stuff. And Silver Dollar City was one of them. So I might end the stream now, maybe get something to eat because I haven't really ate anything yet, and then come stream again in a little bit. So I'm planning on doing multiple streams today. That's what I'm gonna say. And I wanted to start things off here with a little bit of work on the Silver Dollar City recreation because it deserves it. It really does, doesn't it? It's just pretty. I'm actually really liking how Thunderation looks, especially from the overhead view. Like, it looks so good with those custom supports and such. Really good. So, alright guys. I'm going to head off here for now. I'll be back live here shortly. Probably not too long. And we'll probably work on the Windleverse Park a bit. And go from there. So I appreciate you guys joining. If you are here, have been here with me, appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys are enjoying the Silver Dollar City recreation. It's coming together. It's gonna slowly. What? Fluffy, stop spamming. Don't make me put you in timeout. I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm gonna do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. But, alright guys. I'm gonna head out. Again, I'll be live here shortly again. I'm just gonna get something to eat and then take a short break and then we'll be live again. So, if you guys want to see that live stream, stick around and just wait for the notification that will come up. So, I will see you guys next time. So, have a great day, guys. Even cooler tomorrow, and I'll see you guys very shortly. Bye. Bye-bye.